Welcome to this Blender tutorial. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate the process of creating this animation, which is synchronized to the music. The tutorial will be broken into two parts. In this part we will create the objects and the animation. In part 2 we will look at the materials and rendering the animation. We will start by going into front orthographic view by pushing 1 on the number pad. Click on the cube to select it. Move the cube up on the Z-axis by pushing the G key for grab. Then Z to lock to the Z-axis. Move the cube up about 2 grid units. We will now move the origin point of the cube to the top of the cube. Rotate the view to see the top face. Push Tab to enter edit mode. Then click on the face select button. Click on the top face of the cube. Hold the Shift key and press S to bring up the selection menu. Click on cursor to selected or press 2 on the number pad. Press the Tab key to go into object mode. From the object menu, click on Set Origin. Then Origin to 3D Cursor. The 3D cursor will now be set back to the world origin. This is so a UV sphere can be added directly below the cube. Hold the Shift key and press S to bring up the selection menu. Click on Cursor to World Origin, or press 1 on the number pad. Click on the Add menu, then Mesh, UV Sphere. Move the sphere upon the Z-axis by pushing the G key for grab. Then Z to lock to the Z-axis. Move the sphere up so it sits on the ground level. Right mouse click on the sphere and select Shade Smooth. There should be a small space between the cube and the sphere. If needed, move the cube up by clicking on the cube to select it. Then push the G key for grab, then Z to lock to the Z-axis and drag the cube up with the mouse. Next, a plane will be added for the sphere to sit on. Click on the Add menu, Mesh, Plane. Scale the plane up 20 times by pushing the S key, then 20. Then enter. The animation is created using different types of physics on each of the objects. The sphere will be a soft body, the plane a rigid body, the cube a collision object. Click on the sphere to select it, then click on the physics icon. Then click on the soft body button. Next, select the plane by clicking on it and then click the rigid body button in the physics panel. Select passive from the type drop-down menu. Click on the cube to select it. Then click on collision from the physics menu. Click and drag the timeline window if needed to make it more visible. We will use the music to affect the scale of the cube on the Z-axis. I will start the music animation at frame 10. Make sure the cube is selected and push the I key to insert a keyframe. Then select Scaling. We will now select the music, which will affect the scaling of the Z-axis of the cube. Click on the Editor Type menu of the timeline and change it to the Graph Editor. Expanding the details of the cube gives us details of the animation. The details of each axis is a flat line, as we have not made any changes to the cube's scale. As we want the music to affect the Z-axis only, click on the Z-axis row to select it. Click on the key menu. Then bake sound to F curves. I will use this music file, which is available in the YouTube audio library. Navigate to a music file and select it. The music now animates the scale of the Z-axis. Press the space bar to play the animation. The cube is being scaled in time to the music. The music cannot be heard at this stage. This will be fixed in a few moments. The cube needs to be moved closer to the sphere so it will collide with the sphere as it expands down. Click on the cube to select it, press the G key for grab, Z to lock to the Z-axis, and drag the cube down with the mouse. Press the space bar to run the animation. The animation will run slowly at first while it is being cached. The soft body sphere will now move when the cube collision object collides with the sphere. We will now add the music so it is audible. Click on the Editor Type menu of the Graph Editor and change it to the video sequencer. Move the position indicator to frame 10, so it is at the same starting position of the animation. Click on the Add menu, then Sound. Navigate to your sound file and click Add Sound Strip. Press the space bar to play the animation. The music will now play with the animation. The animation and music may not appear to be in sync at this stage. This is because of the speed of the viewport and the animation is being cached. Click on the Editor Type menu of the video sequencer. Then change it to the timeline. Return the timeline to the start of the animation. We will now make some adjustments to the sphere's soft body properties. I will demonstrate the settings used for the animation, but you should experiment with using different settings. Click on the sphere to select it. Then within the Physics Properties, open the Edges sub-menu. Pull affects how much the edges can stretch. This is increased to 0.8, which increases the stiffness of the edges. Bending affects how much the geometry can bend or move. This is increased to 0.7. Press the space bar to play the animation to preview the changes. I will now pause the video while the animation is cached. The animation will now run smoother in the viewport. We will now hide the cube so it will appear as though the sphere is moving by itself. Click on the filters icon in the top right corner. These options allow you to control the visibility of the objects. Click on the monitor and camera icons to activate these options. The monitor object controls if the object is visible in the viewport. The camera icon controls if the object is visible in the render. Click on the monitor and camera icons for the cube object, so they will not appear in the viewport or render. Press the space bar to view the animation. This is the end of part 1. In part 2 we will create the materials and render the animation. Click the like button if you found this tutorial useful, and subscribe to this channel for more tutorials and CG related videos.